Hello, transformational speakers. I'm Erin Loman-Jack, and since you are here, I wanted to give you a little training. In your email, you should have gotten a copy of the blueprint so you know exactly what we're going to walk through. But I thought, why wouldn't I walk you through it and show you exactly what it takes to make more money and convert more sales from stage? So I wanted to offer this to you as a little bonus of like, what is it that really helps you get on more stages? So let's jump in. So if you don't know me, I'm Erin Loman-Jack, and I am the CEO of Transformational Speakers Agency. I am the creator of the Speaker Success Summit. I'm an executive speaking coach and a TEDx speaking coach. I've been around the block when it comes to speaking on all platforms and knowing how to get paid to do so. So many people struggle with that, and I wanted to show you on this blueprint and this training exactly what I do step by step and how I walk through the system for you. So let's get going. If I can click on it. Speaking for free isn't for the faint of heart. So how many of you are sick and tired of speaking for free and not converting enough people from the back of the room? How many want better sales from the front and the back of the room? And knowing what it is that really will tip that point for you when you're speaking on any stage, whether that's you can offer or you can't offer, whether that's how do you position yourself when you are in the room before, during, and after you're done with your talk. There's a lot of key points that people miss out on. And every time I share these tips with speakers, they're blown away by the amount of information and what it takes. Like, it's that easy. I just needed a step-by-step formula. So I'm coming to you to give you that formula today so that you can afford to travel to speak and know that you will still convert enough and make that money back. And maybe even make money before you leave your house. How many of us want that? So speakers hire me, and this is Christy. I helped her do a speaking engagement from one day of coaching. We were talking about what she wasn't doing and how she could really tweak it and make it better. And so in the very first time she did her talk, she literally closed $5,000. And she thought, oh my gosh, if this is what's possible, what am I missing out on? And so she now has a successful speaking career. She has a lot of workshops under her belt. She brings people in for trainings, and she really is making the money that she felt like she was leaving on the table. And so it's been amazing. So I wanted to share with you something that happened just this last week. I was asked to speak for Toastmasters. It's a local Toastmasters here in Seattle, and they just started up their new chapter. And so they asked me to come and speak about TEDx. How do you get on TEDx? What do you need to do in order to apply and get selected and chosen? And since I have a lot of experience on all the sides of TEDx, I was the perfect person for that. So I went in and I gave a 45-minute presentation. I didn't have a big sales pitch. The only thing I had to offer was a $197 course. And I thought, well, that'll be good. It'll be an easy price point for people that these people don't know me. I have not met any of them. I think I knew one person in the room, but just socially. And I didn't know if I could sell. I didn't have a table to sell, but I was not about to pass up the opportunity to share with these amazing people who are doing amazing things in the world. And so I did my 45-minute presentation. I pitched a $197 online course, and I was able to close $788. I thought, okay, that wasn't bad. I, got paid for my hours. I got paid the money it took me to make the copies that I needed to hand out. So I was good. And then my phone didn't stop ringing. I had 3 phone calls the next day or emails of people that wanted to know what it was like to work with me one-on-one. And so I was able to jump into a sales conversation, find out all of their needs, and was able to close 2 one-on-one clients. So literally I made $12,788, and I didn't even have a big 5-figure pitch. How amazing is that? I wanted to share that with you. And I have some couple more people that might be coming on that I'm setting up sales conversations with this next week, but I wanted to be able to share that this just happened. And it kind of blew my mind thinking I went in with one price point and walked out with a lot more. Here's Calvin. Calvin and I worked together a couple years ago, and he just got off the stage speaking with Brendan Burchard, Lewis Howes, Mel Robbins, big names in the industry. And he's so excited because now he makes more money than he did at his day job. So it was really fun to be able to work with him, and he is about to release his TEDx as well. So I know that if Calvin, who was working so hard, lost his job and didn't have another idea of how he was going to bring in money other than a social media company, turned it around and made the money he needed to make and has gotten himself out of $53,000 worth of debt, and now he's teaching others to do the same. It's pretty amazing. So there's the blueprint. You got it in your email box. If you didn't, go back and get it. But I'm going to literally walk you through step by step on how to use this so you know what I'm talking about. So let's talk about what you want to do when you set up a free speaking engagement. So you set up a free speaking engagement. I always ask the host if they would be willing to do a Facebook Live with me 1 to 2 weeks before the talk so that we can invite more people to their event. All organizers need more people to their event. That's how they make their money. So if you can help them get more of your audience and more people in their audience excited to come and see you speak, they're going to sell more tickets. So it's a win-win. Now you invite more people to the event, and when they're on the live with you, you offer them a free opt-in, a training, a webinar, just a little tidbit of like what kind of information you're going to give them, what people need to know before they see you speak, that kind of thing. And then tell them on that live that after after the talk that you give, you're going to offer a 2-hour deep dive workshop the next day, or even maybe the day of the event, depending upon if you're traveling or if you're in a local environment. And tell them for the people who do attend that webinar training that they'll get a discounted price on the webinar. So they're going to be more likely to A, opt in, B, go through the whole thing so they can they can see what the offer is and maybe buy a discount ticket to your to your workshop. But here's the other thing. It also helps nab the people that may be not able to attend your talk. So we all know we're all busy. Maybe these people really want to see what you have to say, but they can't make it that day. So this is a great opportunity when you're on your live with the host and you're inviting them to this webinar that gives them more information about how you work and what you do. And maybe they can make the event, the workshop event. So you don't want to leave them on the table. It also gets more people on your mailing list. So I'm going to walk you through exactly what I've done. So I have spoken for eWomen Network. I have traveled to many cities and spoken on their platform. eWomen Network is a platform of female entrepreneurs who get together once a month in the local market and have a luncheon. You get 20 minutes in front of the room, and you're not allowed to sell. So how do you make money? You get a table. That's one thing you get. And if they have other opportunities for a raffle, for a giveaway, we'll talk about later, you'll also have another opportunity for sales. But when you know you can't sell from the front of the room, how do you do this, right? So in the Facebook Live on the group page, but her page and my page, and then the group's page, there was 8,000 people who watched our live training, our live video. Introducing me, talking about what I'm going to talk about, inviting more people. The host can ask me questions. The audience can get to know me better. From that, I offered them into the online webinar training, and I had 300 opt-ins for that free online training. That's 300 people added to my mailing list that I didn't have before. But if I would have just waited till I got there, I would have only gotten 60, because only 60 people registered to attend the event. And usually she'd only had 35 to 40. So think about this. The host is super happy. You're super happy because you just added people to your email list that you can continue to follow up with and continue to offer things to throughout the year. And a lot of those people will go on to that free training and purchase your workshop. So here's what you do. You go in and you train them around what they need to know and understand before the in-person talk. So give them the inside scoop of like, what are you going to be talking about at the luncheon? But also give them some stuff that they can get prepared so they feel like they're on the inside. And when you do speak, you can use these things to say, for those who did do the training, how many of you did the homework that I left you? And you can see, and you're like, great, that's so amazing. So many of you did that. If you didn't do the webinar, make sure you bring me your card and I will get you registered so you can get that as well. So you get that extra training. So for those who might not have seen the live, might not have opted in, but are in the room already, those people now you have an opportunity to grab their emails and be able to really give them more service and give them tons of value and leave them hanging on for more when you come to the event. They're going to be so excited about what you gave in the video training that when they show up for the talk, they can't wait to meet you, and they feel like they've already gotten to know you. They got to know you on the Facebook Live. Now they've gotten to know you a little bit on the training and like what you have to offer. So now they're even more enrolled and more excited. So then you're going to offer them the discounted rate. Thank you guys so much for coming to this live training. I know we'll see each other next week, and I wanted to give you guys a discount to what's coming up next week. So we have our luncheon on Thursday. On Friday morning from 10 to noon, I'm going to be doing a deep dive workshop. I know I mentioned it in the live event, but I wanted to give you guys a sneak peek and a discounted rate because you came to do the work. So I reward people who are willing to jump in and do the work. So you offer them a discounted rate, and then invite more people to come and listen to the in-person talk. They've watched your video. They've watched your webinar. They got to know you better. Do you think they're going to know who in their network needs to hear you? They are. And they're going to look like superheroes if they invite them to this event knowing how much of a rock star you are. So when I did this, I had 300 people, like I said, opt in and register for the webinar. 80 people showed up to the webinar. 10 people purchased a discounted rate of $77. I was offering the workshop for $97, which we'll talk about when we get to the talk piece. But for the discounted rate, I gave them, $20 off. And so before I even left my house to travel to this city, I already made $770 before I left. That's awesome. That gives you bought your plane ticket, you paid for your hotel room if you have to. All of those things are handled for you before you leave the house. That's huge. This is where people don't know how to travel to speak because they're worried about the money that they have to pay to get there. Well, this is going to shortcut you and give you that money. So now when you go to do the in-person talk, ask to make sure you can have a table. Some people don't realize, as organizers, don't realize that we really need a table to set up our stuff on, our collaterals, to feel more like a positioned expert, but also in a place that you can invite people to sign up to buy from you and do those things. And you can have more of an intimate conversation after the talk. So on my table, I usually have fun things and candies and whatever, but I also sell ring lights. This is important because I actually teach, some of the ways you practice speaking is this, Facebook Live, right? So why wouldn't you need a ring light to go on your phone to give you the best lighting during your Facebook Lives? So I sell them. The other cool part is that brings people to the table. They're like, what is that? And so it gets all this buzz and everyone's gathered around your table. And then you see people buying it from you. So then everyone else wants it. So the third party validation really helps. And then you can also have a raffle there. You can collect business cards there. All the times that you can collect business cards and get people's information, the better. So one of the things I want to say is there are the anti-spam laws, so paying attention to this. You can't just add them to your email list. So one of the little secret tricks I do is when I'm in front of the room, I will either offer them to be entered into my raffle if they want the slides, if I have a slide deck, if they want maybe the free training, I'll say, I'm going to send around this box. And if you just put your card in there, I will add you to my email list so you can get more information from me. And I'll get you the slide deck or whatever else I was offering, the free training. And if you don't want to be added to my email list, just bend the top of your corner of your card and I won't add you. I will just make sure I send you exactly what you asked for. That really helps because then you're getting them permission to add them onto your email list. So then what you want to do throughout your entire talk is you want to see the kind of ways you work with people. When I work one-on-one with people, when companies hire me to come in and teach their staff, when I get paid to speak, if I say those things in my talk, it puts that in their head of where and how they can come and play with me, how they can engage me, and how we can work together. I might throw out in my Transformational Speakers Academy, and then maybe throw out in my Red Dot Secret Training, right? So now they know, they're like, ooh, what's that? So they write it down. They might not ask you while you're there, and you don't even have to go into it, but at least in that moment, they're going to write down and they're going to go look for your stuff. This is awesome because then they feel like they're taking the lead on the sales if they come back to you. So seed all of your programs and offers, and not a million of them, but at least some of them so that they know that there's different ways that they can play with you. So let me just tell you what I did. So from that table, I sold 10 ring lights. Now, let me tell you the secret squirrel stuff. I learned this from Chalene Johnson. I buy ring lights for $2 to $4 on Alibaba, AliExpress, or Wish.com. I turn around and I sell them at my table for $20. And I don't even have one on my phone right now because people literally buy it off of me. I've ran out. I need to do another order. So having things like that you can turn around and sell, that doesn't feel like you're selling something that you have to offer, right? Sometimes we struggle thinking about, oh my gosh, I'm going to offer my coaching program, or I'm offering to work with me. Oh, I kind of feel icky about that. So sometimes it's easier to sell them whatchamacallit than it is to sell your own stuff. If that helps you break the ice, start there. Buy journals, buy whatever, and sell those from your table. It really helps, especially if it goes alongside with what you do, right? Facebook Live, talking about practicing speaking. Why wouldn't you need a ring light? It's a perfect opportunity. The other thing I used to offer was be lav mics that you could use on your shirt for doing Facebook Lives so you have better audio. And what else? I don't know. I mean, you could make up any kind of swag you want. So having other things to sell. So then I sold the workshop to 15 people that day in the room, and I gave away 3 for free. Now, here's how I sold them, because I'm not allowed to sell it from the front of the room. So what I said was, I'm going to draw one name out of all these cards and gift tomorrow's workshop to. Tomorrow's workshop, I'm going to go a deep dive 2-hour workshop from 10 to noon, and I'm really going to help you maximize what I just taught you. I'm going to give you massive value. So did everyone put their cards in that wants to win? They put them in. And then you just gave yourself the opportunity to talk about it. Now, the other way you can do that is if they have a raffle, if they have a giveaway, a door prize. You can even say to any host, I'd really love to give away a door prize. They're going to love it. They're going to be excited. That's awesome. They're going to have to talk about what it is they're winning. So either way, it's a win-win-win. Now I make it even more of a win, and I say that the host gets to come for free. So they're excited. They get this $97 workshop for free. And what I offer is anyone, especially if they're in a membership, if so eWomen Network is a membership. You have to pay to be a member of eWomen. And I say for anyone who signs up to be a member of eWomen Network, which supports the host again, today I will gift you to come to the training. So now you've really enrolled everyone how exciting this thing is going to be. The host is excited because she gets to come. You just gave everyone an offer that she gets to leverage now with the people in the room. And you got to talk about what you have to offer the next day. So with that, here's what we did. The 2-hour deep dive workshop. You can do this at a what are the co-working space. You could do it at a restaurant. You could ask the host, since if especially it's in another city, you can ask the host if anyone has a place that they can use. You could maybe even extend that room and do it the 2 hours after the luncheon, whatever that is. Find a cheap location that you could do this, and then give them tons of value. Get them to create some value right there with you in the room. So one of the things I did was help them start writing out their talk and feeling like they have my support in doing it. And so they literally leave with something they can put into practice as soon as they leave. If that's marketing, if that's, public PR, if that's, I don't know, press releases, if that's part of writing your outline of your book, whatever it is you offer, you give them the strategies. You give them strategies at the talk, and then you deliver those deeper things you can actually walk them through. This is a crucial part of the psychology. It's really showing them how you would work with them if they were to continue working with you one-on-one. And then you want to offer your books and your items again, whatever those were that you had. And sometimes I even sell someone else's book. I have a mentor of mine, Brendan Burchard. I bought a whole bunch of his books, and I literally will gift those out. So it doesn't even have to be your book, and I could resell them. So that's the other thing I can offer people, right? So then at this point, at the end of the 2 hour, this is where you're going to offer your higher end price points. This is where you're going to have them step into working with you more. So in that 28 people attended the workshop, I offered one-on-one coaching or tickets to my Speaker Success Summit. And so I literally sold, you can see the money there. So by the time it was done, I had walked out from 2 weeks before the event to the day after the event, and I made $13,917. It's that easy. But I think we try to overcomplicate it, right? There might be a step you're missing in one of these. If you get all of these right, you really, truly convert more. So let me share some more. Women of Global Change Summit. I had to pay $3,500 to go to this cruise. And I brought my son with me, which was so much fun. And it was a week-long cruise, and we had seminars during the day, and we could get off the boat at different times, and we had experiential exercises, and we did a give back day, which was really awesome. But we had 60 people attended, and I didn't know anyone on the boat. And so it really was more of like, okay, you're going to have to do it while you're there. And so what I actually did was, while I was there, I didn't speak till later in the week. I just got to know people. I networked like I normally do, and I kept asking them. I really wanted to craft something special for all of you in the room, because I don't know you, and I don't know what you really need from me and what you're stuck in your business with. Most of them told me they were stuck with learning how to monetize themselves. And so I knew I do that. So yes, they wanted me to come speak for 20 minutes in front of the room about speaking. But what I did was I just said, I'm just going to be really clean and clear up here. I don't have time to tell you my story. If you haven't got to know me in the last couple of days, if you don't know my story, you have a couple more days to do that. I'm not going to give you a pre-recorded, pre-done talk, because I really wanted to come here and serve you. I'm just going to give you straight, pure value for 20 minutes. Is that okay? Can I get everyone's agreement that that's okay? And I will tell you, they loved that. I did all about speaking, and then I went into at least 5 ways they could make money on the one strategy I gave them. They were blown away. And so from that, I booked calls with 6 women. I closed 3 one-on-one coaching clients and a TEDx coaching client. Plus, I booked 3 speaking events from it. And I was asked to come back this next year to do it again. So I had to front the money at the beginning. It probably, by all said and done, plane tickets, hotel rooms, getting to the boat, getting off the boat, I think I spent $7,000. I was worried. But I was like, no, this is so much fun, and this is a great experience. And what an awesome opportunity to be a woman of global change. And I was just so honored to be there. And by the time it was said and done, I came home and made $19,000. So you can see that at any time, with whatever stage you have and whatever moment you have, and I didn't even do a sales pitch from the front of the room that day. I gave them 20 minutes of pure value. So knowing that you can speak and not sell and still get coaching clients, to still get people to buy in and be your customer and your clients, it's pretty amazing. Now, this was the most craziest one I've ever done because I had 5 minutes in front of the room. So I work a lot in the tech space with women women C-level executives. And I was asked to do this talk for women in tech. I had 5 minutes in front of the room. I was like, I can't tell my story. I can't I'm going to just give pure value again. So, and no pitch was allowed. So I asked for a table. They didn't normally give tables. This other guy that was doing a book signing had to share his table with me, which at the end of the day was one of the biggest reasons why I was supposed to be there. I found out later. So what I did was I gave away a free book. So everyone gave me their emails. So I had 40 more people, or 30 emails. Okay. So I had 30 people give me their emails. I followed up with a slide deck and, to give to them, because especially in tech, they love slide decks. I booked 3 follow-up meetings from my table. And the man sitting next to me was the president of a huge company here in Seattle. And we started talking about working together. So not only did I close a huge client, what he has to offer me and some big deals that could come down the road is potentially $100,000 or more deal. 5 minutes. So knowing how to just position yourself and do it the best way you can, and how to have the systems to follow up with people and collect their data and move people forward, it's huge. That's what people want. I think we're all getting tired of let me stand up here and tell you, how amazing I am, and then I'll give you some value, and then let me pitch you. So sometimes you don't even have to pitch, but you got to be good. You got to be good on stage to do this. So I wanted to talk about why this works. So my background is in psychology. I went to school to be a marriage and family therapist. So everything I teach is about deeply connecting with your audience and building the know, like, and trust. So let's talk about, this is my secret sauce, the compelling conversion offer matrix. This is how long you're in front of someone, what you can offer them. I know that so many people don't know to price themselves at, price their programs, price their whatchamacallits. But here's the thing. It's not about the value of the whatchamacallit. It's the value of what you bring to the table with it. So the longer you're in front of them, the more you can ask for. And the more you keep doing this, the higher price point you can offer. So you can see, if we talk about the eWomen example, eWomen, I did let's say it was like a 40-minute Facebook Live. Then I did an hour-long webinar. So that's an hour and a half. Maybe let's just say 2 hours, just round it. 2 hours. Then I did my talk, but there was networking before that at my table and afterwards. And then they had a little happy hour afterwards. So it's at another 2 hours. So that was 6 hours. Then I had the 2-hour deep dive. So now I'm at 8 hours. So I just went from, I only had 20 minutes where I could only ask for like $497 to like $2,000 to being able to offer a $10,000 product. It's pretty amazing when you start building that up, because you really are truly getting in front of them that many times. They see the consistency in you. They see what you're there to add value, and they fall in love with you. So the know, like, and trust is built. The know, like, and trust goes into buying. So this really will help you understand why I have you do those things in that step-by-step blueprint, is because this is what's working behind it. It's all of those things. So now you know what you can ask for at however long you have to speak. If somebody gives you only 20 minutes, how can you extend that? What is it that you have in your repertoire that could add more time in front of that audience? That's the key. Figuring out what works for you, okay? Getting more time in front of them. So now that you know what you need to do step by step, now you just need to know what to say. You need to know how to say it and position it, how to close your offers, and how to book more speaking gigs. Because if you're booking more speaking gigs, that money just keeps racking up and you get better and better and better, which means you can offer higher and higher prices, right? So last thing that I really wanted to tell you is about compelling communication. This is truly the in-depth stuff that I teach. This is what people hire me for. Big companies hire me to do this. C-level executives from top tech companies hire for this because this is the psychology of connection. This is what I've created. From stage, 50% of what people are taking in about you is your nonverbal. It's your facial expressions. It's your hand gestures. It's how you carry yourself on stage. All of those things are important. The sad thing is, most of us get into that nervous state, and it's because our bodies are just wired that way. So we go to fight or flight, and we have these nervous things go through our body. And so we do certain things out of habits to kind of keep ourselves feeling more safe and grounded and not so vulnerable up there in front of the room. And so a lot of those things could be disconnecting you from your audience. Now, the body doesn't lie. This is why this is so important. If you say I'm confident and you're standing all slumped down and just kind of hiding from yourself and, just having, covered up language, they're going to like, you're not confident. So you have to be in alignment with what you're saying. If you're like, it was the worst day of my life, people's alarms are going to go off. If I said it was the most exciting day of my life, people's alarms are going to go off. Your body doesn't lie. They're looking at you and looking for the place that you're going to show them that there's imperfection. They're going to look for that, oh, see, she's not the person for me because something's off. They're waiting for that. So you need to know what your body is doing and how to do it in a way that's on purpose and to help the other people deeply connect with you. You got to show them you have nothing to hide on stage. So the second part that most people don't even know is vocal variance. So that goes into tone, rate, volume, pitch, all of those things. And when you use these things in congruence, when you pull them together and you start talking. Now, here's what I know about us as humans. We're about 3 tones. Our normal talking voice, and then a doggy walks in. Hi, puppy, you're so cute. We go really high. And then we want it to do something. Sit. We go down here. That's it. So we're boring, and we're boring to each other. And so if you can talk the way that you've heard me do, where sometimes I speed up in my language, sometimes I really slow it down. And if I use different volumes, if I go up or if I go down in my tone, you'll have different feelings that are eliciting from you and the audience. So when you can use your vocal variance, not only does it elicit chemicals and connection, you become memorable. And here's why. How many lyrics to songs, if I turn on the radio, you probably know, 20, 30, 50? It's because it locks into a different part of our brain. The episodic part of our brain is where we lock in songs and music and melody. If you can use your voice and create a melody, you become memorable. So people would be like, I loved what you had to say. Well, what did you like best? I don't even know what you said, but I loved how you took me on a journey. I felt like I was on a roller coaster with you. It was so awesome. I felt all these feelings and all this stuff. And wow, I don't actually remember exactly what you have to say. And so that can happen because if you take them on that journey, they're all in with you. Now, if you layer in that storytelling, humans are wired for connection and wired for stories. We learn from other people's stories. Why do you think the movie industry, books, like we are in love with stories? So if you can share your story and share what you learned from your story, you will definitely connect more with your audience. And here's why. When you're telling your story, you're actually eliciting your own oxytocin. So you start to feel all good and warm inside, like kind of like you're telling your best friend a secret. When you tell your story in a really powerful, connected way, the way I teach, You help the audience unlock their story, and now they're eliciting their own oxytocin. And when you do that, oxytocin is the binding chemical in our bodies. It's what moms and babies get connected with. Oxytocin is what you want your audience to be in, because now they see you're confident, they see you're the person that has the expertise and the credibility. They think that you're completely memorable. They loved what you did. Now you tell them a story and they're in their story. You just gave them almost everything they needed. The words don't matter. I love when people say, I have a speech coming up and I have to write out a script and I don't know what I'm going to say. And the words don't really matter. It's not what you say. It's how you say it. So these are really important components of connecting deeper with your audience. You're going to build the know, like, and trust. And if you can use all of these in every situation that you have with them, you're going to knock it out of the park. You're going to deeply connect with them. Maybe the first time you only connect in one area. The second time they get to a little bit more. The third one you get even more. So now they're all in. So you really need to know how to master these things. Because when you master this, you master your audience and you master your own pocketbook. And let me just be clear. You can't be a lighthouse to the world if you can't keep your own lights on. And I am so tired of having speakers tell me that they're barely making it. Coaches barely getting clients. It's because you don't understand what's getting in the way. And so you really need to know these critical points are important when you're communicating and building it up before you even get there. So that's why I created the Transformational Speakers Academy. It's a 6-week online course. It walks you through everything you need to have a compelling talk that converts, marketing tools, step-by-step plan of attack. You can see I'm a step-by-step kind of girl. I like to walk you through it. So you'll get 6 weeks of me walking you through it. You have homework assignments. You have exercises to go through. You'll get really clear on your vision for speaking, overcome fears if you have any, expert positioning, pricing, packaging, your knowledge, writing your talk, knowing how to do that at any moment, that you can really use that psychology of connection and really practice those 4 things. And then the last 2 weeks are about how to get more speaking gigs. Like I said, you got to be in front of more people to bring in more money. So you got to know how to ask, and you got to know how to get out there and market that. So I'm going to give you everything I got in this course. I've had over 100 people go through it, and everyone has come out thinking, oh my gosh, you're giving this away for free? That's what it feels like, right? So your goal in your business is to create one talk and give it to 100 people. Because look what's possible. You could sell them into a training program for $300. You could sign them up for a 6-month coaching package. You could set them up for a 6-month one-on-one coaching package. So you have workshops, you have group coaching, you have one-on-one coaching. One talk could potentially make you a lot of money every month. But you just got to do the work to get it out there. So what's holding you back? Our words, our message is so powerful. I only attract amazing, powerful people that are here to change the world. And I know I can't change the world with just my voice and just my message. So that's why I'm here on this planet, to help you get out and share your message to more people, to connect deeper with them, to get them to hire you, and so that you can get out on bigger and bigger stages. The world's waiting for your voice. It's waiting for what you have to offer. You have the cure to someone's cancer, someone's solutions to their problems. So stop hiding it. Stop waiting. So I am excited to offer this Transformational Speakers Academy for you. Get registered today. Click below and get more information and start making that bigger impact, not only on the world, but in your bank account as well. Thanks so much for being here. I appreciate what you're here to do in the world, and I can't wait to see you on stage.